Welcome everyone today that we have to talk about a little bit about the civs and the current meta. Right now, we have a little bit of problem, right? So the little bit of problem we have is that every civ is going pro scout. Because of that, I feel like the balance got shaken up. So I hope we will get a nerf on this pro scouting because so far it's insanely bad, the situation we have. So in my eyes, this pro scouting and the best saves to do the pro scouting is both of them are China and Zushi. They are the top dog of pro scouting. The reason behind that, because they can increase the food as well, right? So if you supervise the meal that you drop the deer to it, China and Zushi also get extra food, 20%, right? 20% per each deer, which is a crazy amount of food that you imagine that one deer pack is around like 2,300 food. So now put another 20% on it, like twice. Because if you get two deer pack with them, and now you have a 20% on it, like extra food, that's insanely crazy. So China and Zushi, because of this pro scouting meta we have right now, is insanely strong. They have all that food and they do whatever they want to do, right? The other S tier next to it is Rus because they also get gold with harvesting the deer under the TC. They can rush out pro scout as very, very, very fast. But this three save is the most top tier save currently with pro scouting, right? After that, under them, you have HRE, OTD, Byzantine. No, sorry. Byzantine doesn't need pro scouting. Um, we can put Jean French as well, literally. Like if you go pro scouting. Um, Under that, I think we can talk about like Del. Oh no, same row into the 8 row, Delhi. But the civs that you don't need to pro scout is Byzantine. You don't need to pro scout. Japanese, you don't need to pro scout. Ayurved and Abbasid, you don't need to pro scout. Ottoman, you don't need to pro scout. And English, you don't need to pro scout. So, currently, this is how I see it, and let me tell you why. So, as I said before, like China and Zushi is insanely strong with this pro scouting. Rus as well, because Rus already has like million scouts. So Rus feels insanely strong in this pro scouting. Behind them, HR and OTT, because they just gather the food faster, right? If both of them goes Arkansas, they just gather the food much, much, much faster. The reason why I put Jean d'Arc and French in that row as well, because they have the School of Cavalry, which is a free stable up on age up, and also the Pro Scout is much cheaper for them as well. So JD and French can go Pro Scout because it's much, much, much cheaper for them. Even though there is no extra gathering, but the fact that they can easily do it is enough for them. And I put the Delhi into the same row because for Delhi it's cheaper. Cheaper, it's free. Sorry, cheaper, stupid. It's free. After that, I feel like Mongols, and behind that is Malian. So recently, I was watching games as well, and everyone is losing with Malian. Even though they are go pro scout, if they go pro scout, they lose with Malian. If they don't go pro scout, they lose. Either way, they always lose with Malian. Like even in the tournament as well, people are not really winning with Malians. Even myself, I lost to Papipo Rus when I was playing with Malian because I feel like the economy is not there. So I tried to go Farimbo. I think Demu tried to go with the cow landmark, and both of us lost. So that's for me. And both of us were playing against Rus, right? So if Demu loses with cow landmark against a Rus, and I lose against a Rus with the Farimba, that means the Malian is not as good or strong with or without the cow boom. But currently, this is my emergency pro scout tier list for until they gonna fix or nerf the pro scouting. Because the problem is, it literally become a problem that every civ is pro scouting, and if you don't pro scout, then you just dead. Most of the pro players are banning China and Zushi on tournament because how crazy is the pro scouting with them. Again, both of them received 20% extra food from the deals, which is insane. Ay ay ay. Rus is the gold via gathering animals, right? HROTD just the extra percentage gathering speed. Jeanne d'Arc French, you have the cheaper and you get the stable up on age up. And for Delhi, it's free for you. For Mongol, there is nothing special. You can just, just beat the table in Dark Age if you want to, but there is nothing special for the Mongols. But it still works for them because you can go into H3 with the extra gold landmark, and that's really good for the Mongols. But there is literally nothing special. Just it feels good to fast castle with Mongols with the deer, but with Mali it doesn't feel good, and it feels the Mali is really bad. With these Civs, you don't need to go, and I feel like it's a disadvantage if you go pro scout. Like seriously, if you go pro scout with Basit or Ayubit or Japanese or Ottoman or English, it feels like more like a disadvantage than an advantage. I give you a really good example, like Beastie went pro scout with Byzantine and he lost against Mamaika. That's a really good example. Like I already knew, like you don't need to go pro scout when you are playing with Byzantine because your economy is already insanely strong, insanely good. Same with English, you don't need to go pro scout because your economy is already good. You have a lot of units and you can summon sheep with Ottoman, so pro scout is useless. Abbasid, the same. You can go 3TC. Ayubid, you can just go fast castle, and Japanese, you can go fast castle. So that's not really important to go pro scout with those civilizations. But after when they fix this pro scouting meta, until that, I don't know. Like, so this is for pro scouting, right? This is how I feel about the pro scout. But because of the pro scouting, the whole balance got shaken up. I would say Byzantine is still insanely good, right? So now you see the way I want to put it as like a pro scouting tier list, right? But if it was like a balanced tier list, I think these two would move a little bit down. These one move a little bit up. This one would stay the same. This one goes to S tier. This one goes to B tier, B tier, A tier, D tier, and B tier. That's how I feel like if you are not thinking about pro scouting, just normal tier list, which I really don't like. And I hope they're gonna do something with this pro scouting because you don't remove it from the game, but currently it's so insanely OP that if you don't go pro scouting with these civs in this region, then you will auto lose the game. Because I tried like 2TC as well with like example Jeanne d'Arc and against OOTD, and OOTD literally shit on me, shit on my French, shit on my Jean, shit on my HRE when OOTD went with Pro Scout and Archangel. It's insanely strong. So I hope they're gonna change it in the future. But so far, right now, this is the tier list we have until they fix Pro Scouting. So thank you so much for watching, and tell me, do you hate the Pro Scouting as well, just like me?